Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Marietta High School for the UPSL Georgia Premier matchup between Potros FC and Fountain City FC. Returning back home to Marietta High School for the last time during this regular season. We will be back in a few weeks as Potros has secured a home playoff match in the first round. I'm Christopher Uranga here alongside Richard Carbajal. Richard, how are you feeling today?
Feeling great, my friend. Another beautiful Potros Sunday. Happy to be here and excited for this match to unfold. I definitely think it's going to be a fun one. Our Potros have been looking really good as of recently, and, I hope they just follow in suit with the chemistry and the composure.
And today's going to be a good matchup. Two teams in different directions this season, but Fountain City looking to try to solidify their place to stay in the Premier. Only 1 point out of the relegation zone at this point in the season, but a great result last week at home against Pachuca, Georgia. Puts them in a good situation, but they're going to have a tough one ahead of them on paper. Potros, of course, knowing playoffs are secured, still have a chance at the regular season title. Although it's going to be very difficult, they'll need Kalanji Pro Profile to drop points in their last two matches this week after winning last night against North Georgia 4-0. So nonetheless, Potros will be looking to gain momentum going into the playoffs, try to secure the highest seed possible. If they win out, they'll finish second place, which will give them a more favorable matchup in the first round of the playoffs, and then potentially a home match in the second round if they're able to pass. So that's what they're playing for today. Some changes to the lineup, as you may have seen on the screen just a few minutes ago. Cameron Verona staying in goal. Evan Greenberg back in the starting lineup, as he did last week as well. Kwesi Paul and Spencer Van Buskirk comes into the starting lineup, starting at center back today, replacing Omar Barrow, who will start on the bench today. And then at left back, Latrell Bradshaw comes back into the starting lineup, having missed out last week. As well in the midfield, Benjamin Uranga starts with Augusto Del Rio. Brendan Fry gets back into the starting lineup as well after missing out last week altogether. Mark Binot, Nazario, and Bomio, league leading scorer, and Pedro Lima starting in the front. Getting ready for kickoff, and we have Fountain City's lineup. We'll bring that to you in a few minutes as well. Just a few seconds to go as we get ready for kickoff. Referee does his last check of his watch. Referee crew getting all on the same page. Teams getting their final stretches in. And here we go. Underway at Marietta High School. Potros starting with the kickoff in all black. Moving from left to right on your screen. Fountain City with the white tops and white socks. Black shorts moving from right to left. A quick long ball over the top by Kwesi Paul looking for Pedro Lima. Potros trying to find something early on.
This is definitely going to be an interesting game here. Fountain City only has 3 substitutions left, available. So it's definitely going to boil down. Oh, an accident there, a mistake from the keeper. Nazario unable to get there. But anyway, yeah, it's gonna be an interesting game given the parameters. I think as the game unfolds a little more, the fatigue is going to start setting in. We have some opportunity here for Potros as I believe who was that? Fry? Tried to get across and was unable to, though.
But Uranga will be called for the handball there. And we'll get a look at the starting lineup for Fountain City FC. They've got Rodnell Clay, Jose Daza Noguera, Mohamed Diallo, Kevin Ditzler, Daniel Duran Gonzalez, Adriel Martinez, Jose Perez, Gabriel Perez, William Selby, Tristan Scheidel, and Mike Zarat in the starting lineup, and we'll try to call those out as we go. One of the most notable names there will be Tristan Scheidel, one of the league's top scorers last season, was the top scorer and Golden Boot winner of Division I a year ago when Fountain City earned their promotion. Hasn't had as many goals this season, but still the top scorer of the club. He starts today in the midfield, so won't necessarily be getting as many views on goal as we're used to seeing him, but from set pieces and potentially some plays we might see him as that ball goes over the top looking for Del Rio. He gets to it. There's Bebol connecting with Pedro Lima. Still Lima gets past the defender. Cross in. Falls to Greenberg. Uranga with the shot. Blocked at the edge of the box, and a chance here for Fountain City to counter.
Yeah, and it's seeming like Potros are eating up majority of the field. Possession rather heavy on their half, on Fountain City's half. So definitely gonna need to see some effort from the defensive side on their end. So far, some good efforts though. A lot of wide play, crosses being made. Definitely just a matter of finding the gaps, finding the holes, and comfortably securing the win. Good pass there, looking for Nazario. Just a little long though, and defended well.
They win a throw in deep into the Fountain City half, taken by Greenberg quickly.
That Inyo lays it off to Greenberg. Greenberg sends it back to Kwesi Paul. Paul and Van Buskirk.
Yeah, Van Buskirk starting today at center back. Hasn't played there very often for Potros, but we did see him make that cameo last week. And Lima with a shot off target.
Yeah, and a casual play from Lima there, to beat a defender and to try to have a shot. I've seen it work for him more times than not, so a respectable effort. A little high, but nonetheless, shot off target.
Potros trying to get a quick start in this game. We saw this opportunity here where the keeper just misjudged it. Almost got Nazario his 13th goal of the season. A play back underway. Fry putting pressure on in the midfield. Scheidel doing a good job to get past him, but runs into Oranga. Now Fry tries to send it forward. And it's a little bit difficult to see the numbers, gold numbers on a white shirt for Fountain City. So we'll try to pick out who those players are as the game goes on. Here's Lima coming into the box. Does well to get past one. Has options in the box. Tries to get it to Dino. Great save by the Fountain City keeper to get across and prevent the cross.
Yeah, already seeing that left side there where Lima is. Already seeing there in that left side where Lima is, he's pretty much, has the bag locked in on that side. So far, on 3 drives that he's had from there, it has definitely yielded a potentiality, goal-scoring potentiality.
Potros starting the game positively now that we're into the 5th minute with a few shows on goal. Nothing from Fountain City so far. We can see they're sitting in a pretty deep, it looks like a 4-5-1. A line of 5 in the midfield, trying to prevent anything through the middle, but going over the top instead. But the flag does come up for offside against Lima.
I did love that one-touch effort, though, to try to get it to Dadinho. Unfortunately, offside for Lima. But so far, it seems like Lima has been having himself a good time there on that left side.
Yeah, Lima didn't start last week, only played a few minutes against Birmingham. And we've seen that recently in the last couple of weeks, especially with playoffs secured. Frankie Ruiz rotating the squad. Today, Omar Barrow is the one who gets dropped from the starting lineup. And Spencer Van Busker comes back into the lineup in center back today.
Exciting to see Van Busker too, considering all the games all the matches that he's played and been a part of. Definitely a missing individual in that figure. And an offside there for Fountain City. Good job from the defensive line. Definitely looks like Fountain City's playing rather defensive this game, probably given the parameters of their available subs, only 3 available players to them. They're probably trying to save as much of the legs for these players as possible. And it looks like possessive play is being implemented here as the midfield plays back to the defense for Potros. Van Buskirk finding Lima on a run, looking for Greenberg. Greenberg's on it by himself. Flag stays down. Greenberg's moving and grooving. He sends it in the middle, straight to the keeper. Mistake from the keeper, but they're able to get it out from there. A good job, a great job there from Lima to cut back inside and get it out to Greenberg, who ultimately was alone there.
Now in Bomio. To the edge of the box, here's Del Rio. That one's wide.
I'm loving the one-timers that these Potros players are implementing. And that's going to be a goal kick for Fountain City. That's Kwesi Paul doing a great job not losing that ball. Gets it to Uranga, who puts a body down and is able to get that out. Trying to find Lima, who showed for the ball, but ultimately was defended and sent out for a throw-in for Potros. Actually, a throw-in for Fountain City. My apologies. Well defended at the end of the day. Heavy pressure there as Mbomio tries to rip the ball. Still on it, but the ball gets kicked out. Fountain City's gonna ultimately have another throw in. Oh, and Ben Buskirk pushing the ball forward. Little midfield play there. Lima has one. Lima's on a run. Lima's looking for options. And Lima absolutely nutmegging the defender, but getting pulled down. Now we have a free kick opportunity here from a rather dangerous spot. But yeah, Lima was ultimately gone there and just got pulled down by the arm. Unfortunate, but definitely still a goal scoring opportunity. It even looks like Del Rio might be the one taking it. Let's see what Del Rio can do with this one. El Titiritero.
On target, a good save.
Yeah, huge from Del Rio there. Potros still on it. Greenberg showing. Greenberg trying to find Uranga, but just heavy on the ball there. Uranga unable to get there.
Yeah, great work so far from Martinez, the goalkeeper of Fountain City. So far, a little shaky with his handling, but has done well to control that box. Already prevented 3 crosses, and now that shot on target.
Absolutely.
Stopping Bebo Del Rio to take the lead in this match. Here's a chance for Fountain City. A little bit of a midfield play to stop the pressure. Now they go back to the defense.
And
still Fountain City.
Hard.
Here's Clay. Goes back to Ditzler. Now Scheidel. Scheidel's trying to control, but Fry gets in front of him. Does enough to keep possession for Fountain City, though.
Fountain City's still on it. Trying to
Clay.
do something.
Clay to Scheidel. Scheidel plays it forward, but Van Buskirk picks that one out cleanly. And now a chance for Lima with plenty of space in front of him. Has Dadinho in front of him. Has Mbomio. Cuts back. Now Dadinho still trying to go through, but can't get that one through to him. That one was picked out.
Yeah, definitely just needed to pick the head up on that one. Dadinho was calling that one for about 10, 15 yards. Nonetheless, good effort from Potros as they're still pushing. Del Rio looking for Nazario with a beautiful pass. Nazario trying to control. Still
has Dadinho with him, but goes himself.
Oh, and it hits the field goal post, unfortunately, but a beautiful pass to Nazario there from, I believe that's Del Rio, El Titiritero.
And looks like it took a deflection, so it'll be a corner kick. First corner of the match for Potros. They had a similar opportunity from the free kick in a similar area. And actually, that was apologies about that. This was actually Gabriel Perez, the goalkeeper, who has done well so far. Not to be confused with Jose Perez, who's starting in the midfield.
Corner taken.
Back was Oranga by himself, but couldn't redirect it the way he wanted to.
Lima on the ball again. Lima looking for options. Defended there. Lima for the throw-in. Sending it out to Van Buskirk. Van Buskirk looking for options. Sends it out to Kwesi Paul.
Wow, what is Paul doing up there?
Yeah.
He stayed up after the corner.
Yeah. It looked like he was trying to find, Paul's tall there. He got him a header, too, about 2 games ago. Got him a game-winning header, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, from the Georgia Athletic game, and has just been a powerhouse in that defense.
Absolutely.
Since
Untouchable.
he joined the club.
Yep, an immovable object in that position, for sure.
The club has not lost a match since he's joined.
Coincidence? I think not.
And we talked about a lot of records being broken last week against Birmingham. Dadinho got his 50th goal in UPSL Premier. Bebo Del Rio got the 500th goal in all competitions for Potros. A chance to add to that here as he gets it back to Mbomio, but can't put that one past this goalkeeper, Gabriel Perez, with another great save.
Yeah, it looked like Nazario could have taken just a little more time and put some more effort behind that shot, but definitely a respectable one that he tried to one-timer it. Nonetheless.
Yeah, I think he did have a little bit more time as Diallo tries to keep that one in, but can't. But again, we were talking about the records that were broken last week. A couple of records that could be broken here today for Potros. This could be their longest unbeaten streak in club history if they avoid loss today, as well as the first time that they could see 3 clean sheets in a row in the UPSL Premier. So
exciting times await.
We'll see if they can hold on and break those records today. Time will tell, but they'll have to get past this Fountain City defense, who has done a decent job so far, but Potros still looking threatening. Seems like one might be coming.
Yeah, definitely a possessive Potros game so far. It ultimately, Van Buskirk. I love the effort from Van Buskirk to slide and keep that ball. Absolutely love that. Got it to Bradshaw. Bradshaw finds Del Rio. Del Rio finding Greenberg on the right again, and Greenberg has been ultimately just lonely over there. But huge defensive effort from Fountain City. Now Greenberg forced the throw. Tries to get it to Nazario. Nazario calling for it. Nazario trying to beat his man. Unable to. Good defense there from Fountain City.
Yeah, great work there from Martinez. Just to flick it out for a corner. And we started to fill in the lineup, so we're going to start to call the names of Fountain City players as this game goes. So for those Fountain City fans at home, watching from Columbus, Georgia, or wherever you are in the world, we'll try to get you some recognition for your players as well. But here's a chance for Del Rio, putting the cross in. Uranga's header. Falls to the back post. Bradshaw
with the fancy footwork, staying on it.
But he couldn't keep it in play. It's going to be a throw-in for Fountain City.
Yeah, so far, pretty dominant on the pitch for Potros.
Yeah, already 6 shots, only 15 minutes into the game, but tested the keeper a couple times, but have not been able to find it past him just yet.
Yeah,
we'll see.
At the end of the day, the result is what matters, and those need to hit the back of the net. Given the parameters of the game,
and especially for Fountain City, they need a result. Any point will do at this point in their. Oh, what a hit there from Brendan Fry!
What an absolute... we didn't even call it yet because we didn't think he was going to go for it. But Brendan Fry just absolutely clipping the inside post and getting a beautiful golazo from roughly I would say even the 20-yard mark.
¡Qué golazo!
Pero qué rico golazo!
Brendan Fry's his first goal of the season. Second goal overall in the UPSL. Let's take a look at that again. That just came out of nowhere. What a hit off of the front post into the back of the net.
Yeah, absolutely. Even caught us off guard. A huge job there from Brendan Fry, having him won.
And Potros lead 1-0, 15 minutes into the game. Not what Fountain City wanted. They'll have to try to come back into this game. Here's Martinez clearing the ball forward, they were looking for Selby. Bradshaw got to it first. Selby goes down, no call. Now Lima. Back to Van Buskirk. Potros now going to be looking to keep control of the ball and continue what they've been doing. But man, that hit from Brendan Fry, where did that come from?
I'm talking, I still have my mouth open. That was an absolute heater from Brendan Fry.
And gets back into the starting line. Did not play last week, and that's going to be offside against Dadinho. But last week was dropped to the bench after starting against Georgia Athletic. He only played about 35, 40 minutes before he got subbed out for Del Rio. That game was a little bit more difficult as Georgia Athletic had sat very deep in the 5-4-1 and made it very difficult for Potros to play through the lines. A player like Del Rio, who's very good in those tight spaces, was what they needed. And last week, Fry fell to the bench, didn't get into the game as a 4-0 comfortable win for Potros. Didn't give him the opportunity. But back in the starting lineup today, and man, did he take advantage of it so far.
Yeah, he sure did. He got him a banger. That was almost, the 25-30 yard mark. Yeah. That was incredible.
UPSL Premier had a goal of the week. That would definitely be a contender. but could definitely be a shout to get into the team of the week, as that has started up recently. And we'll have to re-watch the video to see who got the assist on that, because like you said, it just came out of nowhere. We don't even know who set him up for that one.
Yeah, I mean, I like, we even were delayed on calling it. It was so Kwesi Paul pushing forward, though, an absolute dominant force there. Gets it to Del Rio. Del Rio sending it out to Greenberg. Greenberg's pushing on it. Greenberg gets it out to Fry. Nothing there.
Fry's block crossed by Ditzler. Fry back on the ball. He's been very lively so far. Now putting another cross in. That one behind and no one there. Just a bad touch from the defender. Falls to the hands of the keeper. Was not a deliberate pass back. We saw a recent post gone sort of viral from a few weeks ago against SSL, where a play similar to that one was called for a pass back, and on the subsequent free kick, Kwesi Paul got the goal, and that clip has since been passed around in the internet. A debate has gone around whether or not it was the right call. It's on our Instagram page if you want to check it out.
And Greenberg with the vision trying to find Nazario, but unfortunately sent it behind him. Kwesi Paul getting it back to Verona. Then Buskirk on the ball now. And Buskirk looking for options, opting to send it to Uranga. Uranga gets it out to Greenberg. Greenberg sending it.
Martinez got to it first.
Yep.
Bomeo still looking to break his goal drought. Hasn't had a goal since that mid-May game against Kalonji Pro Profile.
Yeah, he even had a PK if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he had the PK against Georgia Athletic that got saved. Last week against Birmingham, he had about 3 or 4 great chances that the keeper of Birmingham had an amazing game. I mean, the scoreline was 4-0, but
I love that pass though that he just sent to Dadinho. That was a cute little flick.
And that was the point I was getting to. It's not for the lack of chances that he hasn't scored. It's not for the lack of good opportunities taken either, because he's had some really good shots. And like I was mentioning, the goalkeeper of Birmingham last week just had a man of the match type performance. If it wasn't for him, it could have been a 6, 7, 8 goal game.
Absolutely.
And stopped Bomeo on 3 different occasions with world-class saves. So Bomeo has not been...
Finds Dadinho. Dadinho gets it, and it's in the back of the net off of a throw-in from Latrell Bradshaw. A huge job there from Latrell Bradshaw and Dadinho as the ball hits the back of the net, and that will result in a Potros 2 and Fountain City 0 state.
You're just talking about Bomeo not finding his form, but you know who has been finding his form? Dadinho.
Absolutely.
Adding to his goal tally, getting his 7th of the season. Right there from a tight angle, just poked it away. Great work from him, and good awareness from Bradshaw to find him.
Absolutely. That's exactly where I was headed. I mean, a great throw-in, too, is perfect. He got it right to his feet, and all he had to do is just put it in the back of the net. Huge job there. So far, so good for our Potros. How are you feeling, Chris?
Feeling pretty good, and like we mentioned, already safely in the playoffs, already secured a home field advantage. So right now, everything is to prepare for that game, try to get a high seed, and Fountain City with the season they've been having, they want to try to fight to get a point. They'll try to hope that other teams around them are not getting results as well to try to keep their chances of staying up alive. But today just doesn't seem to be their day. And here's another chance as Lima gets to it. Oh, that one took a deflection, but that was nearly the 3rd goal in a very short amount of time.
I love the development of that play, though. I mean, it was quick 1-2 and then shot and just one-timer. I love the development of the play there. That was a really, really well-coached play. And I think Lima seeing the goals hit the back of the net is exciting him because he's looking for a heater himself.
Yeah, the play continues on, and Potros continuing to dominate. They're trying not to put the foot off the gas. They know that every goal is important. We've already seen, like we said, another record broken last week is that this has been Potros' highest scoring season in UPSL Premier as well. So adding to that number, making this another historic season for many reasons. But Fountain City, on the other hand, just not having a great season and kind of reflected just today, only 3 subs. I don't think their head coach is here. Here's a chance for Mbomio. And Bomeo from a tight angle flicked it on, but could not get it past the keeper. The tackle from the defender just put him off there. But we're definitely going to have a pretty extensive halftime highlights. Defender stayed down from Fountain City, now coming back up to his feet. Here's Gabriel Perez, not the best clearance, and Fry tried the one-time shot, and it ends up going out for a throw. I don't even know if that goes down in the statistics as a shot.
I would say that was just a miss touch there. That you know, but he wanted to bag him another one. I get it. I understand. Effort there from Brendan Fry. Uranga pushing heavy on that one, ends up with the ball, but Fountain City with it now. Fountain City on the attack. And forced to go back into the defense, Fountain City. Heavy pressure here from Brendan Fry, resulting in a mistake. Dadinho's still on the ball.
Yeah, he hesitated. He saw the run from Mbomio, thought about sending it, but then when he realized that it was about 4 defenders in front of him, he took a little bit long on the decision, allowed the Fountain City player to put his leg in. Won the throw in, and here's Lima now looking to create. Saw the run from Mbomio, blocked by Scheidel. That one's picked up by Jose Perez. Now Scheidel sending it to Gonzalez. Uranga in the way. Falls out to Clay. Now Perez sends forward, straight to the feet of Paul. Del Rio fights off the pressure from Selby. Still Del Rio, now sends it wide to Bradshaw.
Yeah, so far a lot of success from that wide area over there.
Lima again. This time got picked out by Scheidel. Now Scheidel trying to send it long, hits off of his teammate Selby. Now Jose Perez with the ball. Goes back to Ditzler. Wide to Clay. Back to Perez. A little bit better this from Fountain City, moving the ball in triangles. But that time Ditzler tried to do it himself against Dadinho. You think about Fountain City and hope that they can stay up. I mean, they're a great organization, a really well-organized club, and they'll probably need to take some time to make some changes on the administrative side and try to come back stronger if they're able to stay up. And if they end up going down to D1, trying to use that to kind of rebuild their team perhaps and try to get a little bit more. But they still have a chance here. Bradshaw fighting to keep that one and wins the free kick in the process.
Yeah, great job from Bradshaw there to not give up on that one.
Yeah, they wanted to take it quickly, but referee did not like the placement of the ball. Fountain City, one thing we've talked about at this field is that sun coming down on the face of Verona. Hasn't had to do much so far in this game. I don't even know if he's touched the ball in this game.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they have a shot on goal.
We do see Christian Watson coming up from the bench, starting to warm up. We might see him make an early appearance in this game. Perhaps some issues with one of the players. We'll see as the play continues. But here's Greenberg. Got past one, could not get past the second. Great work there from Martinez. But his clearance goes straight to Dadinho. Wins a free kick, however. The sliding challenge from Greenberg was a little bit late. And now we see Watson changing his shirt. So looks like we will see a sub early on in this match.
Yeah, rather early sub. I'm kind of fascinated by this decision.
I think I saw Lima looking at the bench. It might be for Lima. Maybe he had an issue.
Quite possibly.
And maybe needs a
Lima's
sub.
been
We'll
rather
see.
active, so.
Long ball looking for Selby. His first touch gets around Bradshaw. Bradshaw does well to keep his body, but Selby did enough to win the ball, back the ball. Here's Scheidel. Normally a goal threat himself, playing a deeper role today. Gets it wide to Clay. Clay can't get around Greenberg, and Paul ends up coming away with it. Played forward to Mbomio. Mbomio sees the space in front of him, gets past Martinez. Good work there from Zarat to get across and send it out to the corner.
Yeah, good little corner for Potros, goal-scoring opportunity.
Watson now stepping up to the halfway line. Don't know if they'll make the sub on this corner or wait till another opportunity. Referee today is Asher Morris, accompanied by Ben Abrams and Luis Ferrucci, and fourth official today is Daniel Benson. And it's actually Brendan Fry, the one who will be replaced.
Wow, I wonder why that is.
He got a really great goal early in the match. So we'll put that one up on screen. That one here from Fry, just had one there on the post. Maybe some tired legs, maybe not feeling his best today.
Oh, he was grabbing his stomach and then explaining to coach. So I definitely think maybe he's not feeling so hot.
Watson in.
Watson with the super sub though. Let's see what he can do. Bebo sending it in.
Paul got his head to it, but it was on target, but could not find the back of the net that time either.
Yeah, and Paul definitely is an aerial threat as a whole. The guy is just good.
Now the rest of the bench coming up and getting some warm.
Yeah, I'm really fascinated. I'm wondering if we're gonna see an entire team substitution or not.
No, I think it's just around the 30-minute mark. You know, the bench starts to get up, get their legs loose, be prepared for anything. Watson for Fry was the sub. It looks like it was a issue that Fry was having, maybe not feeling well, maybe the heat getting to him today. He had that great goal, great contribution. Season early exit in this game. Watson in for Fry. Here's Uranga wearing the captain band as he has for most of the season. Uranga really finding his place in this midfield.
Absolutely. So strong in that position. Bebel finding...
And Bomeo took a deflection. Greenberg. Oh, just wide of the goal. No.
What a good opportunity though there. Nazario is also just an assist machine though. Like I've come to realize too, Nazario, if he can't do it himself, he'll pass you the most perfect ball for you to get it in the back of the net.
That one took a little deflection and fell to Greenberg, but we've seen, as we've mentioned, despite not scoring in the last two matches, he's made a key contribution in both of those matches.
Yeah, he's involved, in majority of the goals, regardless of how you see it.
Here's Watson getting his first real involvement. Quick touch with Lima, back to Watson. Still Watson. Wide to Bradshaw. Cross blocked. Falls to Dadinho at the edge of the box. Oh, but the flag will go up. We're offside.
Yeah, Dadinho was off from the beginning of that play, but with the deflection, they were going to let it go. But as soon as Dadinho touched it, they essentially called it there.
I think the offside might have actually been on Bradshaw on the far side.
Really?
But based on where the kick is being taken, it seems that was the decision.
Okay.
Ball over the top, looking for Selby, but Bradshaw gets to it. Here's Uranga for Potros. Lima flicks it on. Watson gets to it first. Heavy touch, but second one falls to him again. Ditzler trying to clear this time, he does. Bradshaw brings it down, one touch. Finds the feet of Lima. Del Rio coming forward. Del Rio. Good tackle there from Zarat and clears it out to safety. 30 minutes gone. Potros with 12 shots to Fountain City's 0.
Yeah, so far a bit of a dominative performance from Potros. Not to say that, Fountain City's out, down and out either, but so far it's been a pretty possessive and goal heavy for Potros game so far.
We talked about records, Richard, and another record that Potros might be able to break today is that their biggest win in UPSL. They've won by 4 goals, I believe on 5 different occasions, maybe 6 different occasions. Never won by 5 goals. So that could be something that they look for today.
Yeah, let's see if that's a strong possibility. Let's see if it happens here.
They've done it twice this season against SSL and last week against Birmingham. Here's Watson.
And Watson's shifty with it. I really like his speed and movement.
He has some skills there on the far side. Wins the corner. Watson being one of those new additions to the squad going into playoffs, as well as Del Rio. Nazario and Bomeo Kwesi Paul, also ones who have been added into the season, did not start the season with Potros. John Engel, another one of those not in the call-up today, was not available for this match. Paul.
Again with Paul, though. Paul, once again, an aerial threat, able to touch that ball there. Unfortunately off target, but needless to say, off of a corner, very well done.
Gabriel Perez looking to try to send Fountain City quickly, but did not have the same Idea is his teammate, and the ball was given straight back to Potros. Lima picking it up at the edge of the box. Lost his footing just at the last second, and ball was cleared out for a throw-in.
Darinho going to be the one taking this throw-in. Finds Greenberg on the quick. Poor throw-in, though. And that's going to be a Fountain City throw-in now. A little mistake there from Darinho. All good. Fountain City on the throw-in now.
We haven't had a chance to talk about the bench of Potros. We've already seen one of those players, Christian Watson, get into the game, and Greenberg takes a spill.
Yeah, Greenberg
Wins a
took
free
that
kick.
ball directly to the face. I hope he's okay.
Other options for Potros off the bench, they've got Bryson Antochi, Daniel Morera, Benji Prophet gets his first call-up of the season. He'll be the backup keeper for today. Jimmy Lee Noel was one of the top assisters of the season for Potros. Manuel Cabrillo, one of the club's all-time scorers, on the bench today as an option. Noah Kuamoto gets his first call-up. Omar Barrow and Sean McKeever also options.
And Del Rio on this free kick. Let's see what he can do with it, as we've already seen free kicks to be rather dangerous. Del Rio about to take. Has one. Oh, and it bounces kind of crazy directly over Rodanga straight to Kwesi Paul. And Paul able to hit it, but not enough power to be a danger.
The punt from the keeper goes straight to Verona.
Verona getting his first touch.
It seems like that might be his first touch of the game
Yes,
for Verona.
that would be Verona's first touch of the game.
Unless we're forgetting something maybe at the very beginning, but here's Greenberg after taking a little bit of a spill. Seems okay now. Del Rio with a nice touch. Has support with him. Goes to the corner. Flicks back to Darinho. Across to Watson. Shot on target. Not able to beat the keeper. And another great save from Gabriel Perez. Giving it straight back again to Potros.
Yeah, it's been pretty heavy for the Potros. I would say at least 80% possession.
Another corner, fifth corner of the match, with 10 minutes to go in the first half. But Frankie Ruiz, what a job he's done this season.
Yeah, incredible coach. A little shaky at the start there, and naturally, bringing in a new coach, new players, et cetera. But what an incredible job that coach has done. These boys are moving like they never have.
Darinho on target. Fountain City really just can't get out of their half.
Nah, unfortunately, it seems like every free goal kick has resulted. Watson though pushing it up, trying to find the cross, but defended well from Fountain City. Uranga's on it. He might have one.
Uranga again. Shot blocked.
And it just looks like everybody's getting a shot on goal in this one. Yeah, a little bit of a mistake there on Uranga. That's going to be a call. Free kick for Fountain City.
Scheidel lays it off for Martinez. Looks like Scheidel might have dropped back to center back.
Yeah, it does seem so. Probably just needed more help defensively, given the parameters of the possession. Lima's on it, though, pushing forward. Tried to find a good pass there. Wasn't able to.
Scheidel got his body in the way. So a little bit of a shift around for Fountain City.
Yeah, even defensively, it seems more players are pushing up forward.
Either that or they're just kind of losing their shape altogether, because now here comes Scheidel back into the middle. So it seems...
Maybe they're just trying to figure it out. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
A little bit of that, indoor style, freestyle, no formation. Players just kind of move around, keep the same shape. Anybody can take any position, that kind of total football.
Yeah, fall in,
One player goes forward, somebody else drops in.
Absolutely. That could be
a little
what's
bit
going
before
on
our
here.
time of that Netherlands. We've
Yeah.
seen the videos, but we weren't there at
Yep,
that time.
weren't there, but definitely saw it. That's Van Buskirk and Kwesi having themselves a good game. Kwesi Paul bringing the ball forward, looking for options. Back to Van Buskirk, but getting pressured hard there. Calmly gets it to Udanga finding Bradshaw. Bradshaw pushing forward. A mistake from Bradshaw now, though. Fountain City on it again.
Here's Gonzalez trying to carry forward, trying to go himself, but
Eventually engulfed by Potros
yeah,
players.
they ended up coming off of him last, so for nothing, didn't get anything out of it.
Crazy throw in from Bradshaw there. Trying to find Mbomio. Unable to, though. Heavy on the throw.
Yep, cleared by Noguera. I think that's the first time we said his name at right back today for Fountain City. Lima coming back to win that one, and Fountain City will have a throw. And here's Noguera to take it.
A little bit of kickball there. Fountain City still on it. Trying to find a pass there. Unable to get past Bradshaw, though.
Getting some love for Brendan Fry in the comment section. We're all his fans here. A spectacular performance from him, although cut short. But what an amazing goal he had. Here's Mbomio on the far side. Flicks it towards the center. Falls to Watson. Greenberg getting forward.
Oh, Greenberg again by himself.
Greenberg trying to find Adinho. Tight angle if he can get it towards the goal, but no, he can't. It's going to be a goal kick.
That's going to be a goal kick here for Fountain City from Mr. Perez. But sent straight to a Potros defender. But deflected, and now Fountain City on it.
Wins a free kick.
Yeah, a bit of a heavy step there from Van Buskirk.
Not a lot of fouls in this match so far compared to last time we were out here with Georgia Athletic.
Yeah, it's been a rather tranquil game. You know, that's also an testament, though, to Fountain City, a well-run program. They play a clean game.
Yeah, for sure.
We just appreciate that.
Yeah, Fountain City definitely one of the best run clubs in the league. We were very impressed. We played at their stadium last season. It was a really great experience overall. And here's Lima, just finds Mbomio.
And Mbomio finding the back of the net. Oh, what absolute play from Potros. Incredible job. I mean, just cool, calm, and collected. And Mbomio almost knew it was going to hit the back of the net.
What a great run there from Lima, too. Nazario Mbomio getting his 13th goal of the season, extending his lead at the top of the scoring charts for the league.
Incredible.
Ends his goal drought. We'll take a look at that one again, but a great move here. Del Rio got it to Lima. Lima saw the space in the middle and just drove into that space. No way that Noguera could catch up with him. And Mbomio all by himself.
That was
had to slot that one
That was
away.
also high IQ from Mbomio, though, to see that, and Lima as well. Lima pulling in the pressure, seeing Mbomio get free, and then passing it out to him. Good job. Great job.
And we were just talking about Fountain City. They're a really well-run club, but you can see that their players just a step behind in the speed and the physicality of this. Is you saw as Lima just drove into that space, they just could not keep up with him.
Yeah,
So hopefully they'll have some time off after the season to regroup and maybe work on their fitness, try to bring in some reinforcements into the squad and come back stronger. But this is going to be a season that they'll want to forget after last season, an impressive first season in the Premier, getting into the playoffs. But this season just has not been able to repeat those results.
Absolutely. An unfortunate situation, but needless to say, we still have an entire second half, and they're not down and out. So we can absolutely, continue to play some good football.
And they have players who can cause damage. We've seen Selby. He's been good this season. Scheidel If he can get more involved in the front, he can cause some danger, or if they can win some set pieces. But first here, I have to stop this one from Darinho. Oh, and another goal from Darinho gets his 8th of the season. Potros now up by 4, going just a few minutes before halftime. And this team just seems unstoppable today by Fountain City. How can they come back from this? They'll need to make some adjustments, but Darinho gets his 2nd of the match, his 8th of the season, and his 52nd goal in UPSL Premier, his 60th overall on today, his 99th appearance for the club.
Wow,
One game away from breaking 100, becoming the 5th player in club history to hit 100 appearances.
He'll be considered a centurion.
Get that one is again. It's a great lob over the top by Del Rio.
And cool, calm, and collected.
That connection, Del Rio and Darinho. I wonder, you could go back in the history books and see how many times have those two connected.
Absolutely, and that's why I was so happy to see Del Rio back, because I knew, their chemistry is just unparalleled.
Del Rio also up there. I believe this is his 71st appearance for the club today. So a lot of appearances in the squad, and now Fountain City finding some space and getting into the Potros half. Here's Ditzler. Can they cause some damage before halftime? Clay. Noguera getting up. Has help next to him if he can find it. Goes to Diallo. Diallo's shot. Oh, and he's taken down. It's going to be a free kick.
Oh, that's a dangerous free kick.
And a yellow card shown to Van Buskirk, just at the edge of the area. And just as we mentioned, Scheidel could be looking to take this one.
Yeah, Verona's definitely going to get tested on this one. I mean, that's really close.
See that one again. I think I said that was Diallo. I believe that was actually Selby. Got the players mixed up. Actually, yeah, it was Selby. Was taken down just at the edge of the box. He has a chance for Tristan Scheidel. Could break the record. Could stop Potros from breaking the record for consecutive clean sheets, as we mentioned earlier. Potros also sitting with the 2nd best defense in the league, only behind Kalanji Pro Profile.
And then we also haven't mentioned Van Buskirk caught a yellow on that play.
Yep, we did get that one as well. So it could be a chance for Fountain City to get their first shot of the match right here with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
That also does go down as a shot on goal. Was that their first?
And the shot did not count because of the free kick, I believe.
Gotcha.
So we'll get this. Will be their first shot from this free kick. We know Scheidel can hit them. The question is, will he look to go over the wall, or will he look to try to get it onto the far post?
Nah, he looks like he's ready to put that in the back of the net.
Scheidel.
And absolutely drills it into the back of the net. Looks like our clean sheet record isn't going to happen this season.
Yeah, it's not going to happen today. Tristan Scheidel, we called it on the set pieces. We knew that was their chance to get back into the game. Went to Verona's side of the goal. Verona maybe not set up in the right place as he was expecting it over the wall, but going to be difficult to get over that wall, and just hits it to that back post. Past Verona. Now we are into added time. Not sure how much time will be added, if any. And Bomio gets us back underway. Watson, and that will be the halftime whistle. So Fountain City getting one back just before half. Potros going into the break with the 4-1 lead. Goals from Brendan Fry, a brace from Darinho, and Nazario and Bomio getting the goals. We can see the match statistics. Potros is 20 shots to Fountain City's 1, 13 on target, and that one shot for Fountain City. They made it count. Will they be able to come back in the second half and get something out of this game? We'll see in about 15 minutes.
We'll be back.
Welcome back as we get ready for the second half here at Marietta High School. Potros leading 4-1. See the goal scores up on the screen and some of the statistics. Before we get into the second half, we'll take a quick look at the first half highlights, which, looking at the stats, you'll see it's pretty one-sided. We'll take a look at that real quick. And my mic's not on.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we prepare here for the second half, we're going to look at some highlights here from the first half. A few technical difficulties with one of the microphones, but we are actively solutioning that before the second half starts.
So as the teams take the field, we'll see some of the highlights here. 9th minute, this free kick. You can see early on, Potros was already knocking the door. Gabriel Perez with many saves in this half. We'll see some of the best ones here. This opportunity from Mbomio. That one did call as a deflection, so it goes down as a save for Perez. And we'll probably have to cut the highlight reel short as the teams are now on the field. Just before we get back there, we'll see this opportunity from Mbomio straight into the hands of Perez. Took them a little while, Potros. Then here in the 15th minute, this one from Brendan Fry, just out of nowhere, blasting it into the upper corner, off the post. Unfortunately for Fry, he did have to come off a little bit early in that first half. And we'll look at this one real quick from Darinho just a few minutes later to double the lead. And then we had some other opportunities come in from there. But we're going to have to cut off the short because we're getting ready for kickoff here. In the second half, Fountain City going to be kicking us off this time, moving from left to right in white and black. Potros in all black, moving from right to left. The final steps, we'll look to see if any subs were made. Looks like on Potros' side, no subs were made. We'll see the same 11 that finished. Only one change in the game so far for Potros, which was Christian Watson coming in for the first goal scorer, Brendan Fry. Referee checking his watch, confirming with his other assistants. And 45 minutes to go. Fountain City just getting one back right before half, thanks to the free kick from Tristan Scheidel.
And we're off.
Can he create more? Scheidel still playing in the deep role in this half. We might see as the game goes on, we might see him push up a little bit further. But so far, he's been pretty much at the center of everything for Fountain City. And Selby won the free kick for Scheidel's goal. We might see some changes from Fountain City. They only had 3 subs on the bench today. As a long ball looking for Selby on the counter. Del Rio flicking that one on. Comes off Noguera. And apologies, that was actually Zarat. It looks like Zarat and Noguera has switched out. So now Zarat's going to be on the outside and Noguera in the middle. Martinez getting across to poke that one out for the first corner of the second half for Potros. So a lot of the same from the first half, and we'll probably see Fountain City with a little bit more urgency in this half to push the ball forward.
Yeah, absolutely. They already started this half with a little bit more energy. I mean, obviously we have a Potros corner here, which is a goal-scoring opportunity.
Del Rio plays short to Darinho. Back to Bebol. Bebol puts the cross to the back post. Uranga gets up. Still work to do. Falls to Watson. Wide to Bradshaw. Bradshaw takes it down the line. Cuts back inside. Still Bradshaw. Still Bradshaw. Darinho. Lima!
And a heavy shot there from Lima, resulting in a Fountain City goal kick.
Bradshaw's going to be upset with that one after the work he did to get that ball down the line and into the box.
Yeah, quite a bit of heavy effort there from Bradshaw. He's been doing a really good job playing what I would consider a wing-back position.
Yeah, he came up for the corner and found himself on the right side. Here's Watson now. Watson at the edge of the box, looking for a cross or an option. Goes to Darinho, now with Greenberg. And resets all the way back to Paul. No options there for Potros. They'll look for another angle. Here's Uranga now. Can't get through the Fountain City midfield. And Bomio coming back. But ends up giving that ball away as well. And now the ball cleared to Paul. Paul trying to switch it out. Lima gets his head to it. Bradshaw behind him. Bradshaw doing well to keep the ball. Scheidel there to clean it up. Comes off of Lima, and I believe that Martinez will let it go out. Selby now headed towards the center. Watson picks it up. Christian Watson.
And Watson a little excited on that one, trying to take a page out of Brendan Fry's book. Kwesi Paul, once again, just a dominative force back there. I mean, gets it almost every time the ball is sent in his direction.
I wish we had a stat for how many headers that Kwesi Paul has won this season.
Absolutely.
And his percentage. I'm sure it's somewhere up in the 80-90% range.
It's high.
Headers won.
Yeah, there's not many balls that he's missing from that position.
Paul.
I saw Paul working on those switches earlier in practice, and I'm really seeing the results here. A really good job from Paul trying to find those.
The 30-year-old Grenadians international. Not very many players you can say have international experience, and Paul gets that one dangerously across the Van Buskirk.
Yeah, that was an incredibly interesting decision. I can't say I've seen many defenders opt to go across the goal mouth.
But again, we were just saying how Paul, with his experience, international experience, played for the Grenadian national team, played USL 2 with MOBA, played under Frankie Ruiz at Bruton Parker College as well. So reunited with his former coach, bringing his experience to this Potros team, and has really made his impact.
Yeah, made quite the difference.
Chance here. They look for Diallo, but Van Buskirk clears. And Buskirk on a yellow card in the first half will need to be careful not to make any unnecessary fouls, as I believe that was Martinez who misjudged that one. And now Mbomio quickly, the throw-in was taken quickly, and Mbomio's still trying to go, but Martinez does well to stop the top scorer of the league. Dadinho, ball in. Here's Greenberg. Watson comes back, looking for an option to go forward. Goes himself instead.
Wow.
Watson!
Watson beats 2-3, has him one, just heavy on the foot there, unfortunately.
Watson looking for his first goal in Potros colors. Joined the club only a couple weeks ago. Got his debut against Georgia Athletic and made an assist to Paul for the game winner. But since then, wasn't able to get any goal contributions last week in Birmingham. Comes off the bench today to replace Brendan Fry and trying to get back into the goal contributions. Oh, a mistake there from Fountain City, and Mbomio picks it up. Has Lima coming across. Finds him. A tough control, gets around Scheidel. Still work to do for Lima. Oh, taken off of his balance in the last second. Was not able to redirect that to the goal. Had 3 Fountain City players coming towards him, and we'll see a substitute now for Fountain City. Try to find out who's the one that's going to be coming on. We've got Jose Perez being replaced. Player coming on. We see if he can turn around and get his number. Number 12 is the one who's coming on. That's going to be Michael Rome. So Michael Rome replacing Jose Perez in the second half. First change for Fountain City. Foul called there against Bradshaw. Potros still putting pressure on Fountain City, but no real great chances in this half. All their shots have been off target, and that one, free kick straight into the hands of Verona. I think that can go down as Verona's first time touching the ball with his hands in this game. Verona puts it down, looks to send it forward, and just goes straight back to Norguera there.
Mbomio pressing hard there. Ultimately ending up with Uranga.
Del Rio, we haven't seen much from him so far in this half. We've seen a lot of Watson. As he continues, looking for an option to get it wide to Greenberg. Continues his run. Tried to get it back, but was picked out on the far side.
Greenberg,
I believe actually we had a change on that side as well. Looks like Ditzler was removed. We'll try to see who came in for him. But now Dadinho coming the other way. Blocked by Scheidel.
And Greenberg on a run.
Scheidel
off.
once again.
Yep, Scheidel got him off of it.
It looks like Clay was dropped back to the defense. Diallo now playing in a wide position. Trying to find out who came in for Ditzler, or if they maybe just shuffled around. Ball back into play here with Fountain City. Bradshaw winning it back. Lima might think about going himself instead, lays it off for Watson.
Bit of a misconnection there between Watson and Dadinho. Dadinho's still fighting for it though.
Commits a foul in the process, and we did have another player come on for Fountain City. I believe number 15 came on, Giovanni Menjivar, replacing Kevin Ditzler. Here's Uranga winning the ball back in the middle. Tries to send it to Lima, but it's going to be too close to the keeper.
A little bit more energy from Fountain City this half though.
Yeah, 2 changes, so they've got 1 remaining. We believe that's
Feliciano.
Brian Feliciano will be the last option for Fountain City off the bench. But Rome and Menjivar entered the match, replacing Ditzler and Perez, Jose Perez. Only 1 change so far for Potros, with Christian Watson coming in the first half. Van Buskirk on the ball, playing wide to Bradshaw. See if Frankie Ruiz wants to rotate some players, get them some minutes before playoffs, see a few new faces. We have a couple players who got their first call-up today. We'll see if they make an appearance, but that one from Bradshaw finds Watson in the middle. Watson continuing his run. Now tries the shot on target this time.
Yep, Watson with a shot on goal. Got it past a few guys there. Tried to see what he could do with it. Fountain City goal kick.
Feels like one's coming for Watson. He continues to push the envelope.
So far, once again, a possessive game for Potros. Lima doing a lot on that left side, breaking 2-3 angles.
And that's something that I think this Potros team, one of the characteristics that they have this season, so many players who work so well in tight spaces.
Absolutely in agreements with that. You know, you have Del Rio.
Greenberg, cross was blocked and wins a corner. Exactly, Del Rio, Dadinho, Lima, Watson coming into the team also.
Yeah, and I do enjoy how shifty Watson is.
Makes it very difficult, well. Even with 2 or 3 players putting pressure, those guys can find a way through. Not all the time, though. They've had some unsuccessful attempts. Here's a cross. Paul, let it go. Uranga now trying to get a touch on it. Wide to Lima. Back to Dadinho. Dadinho could not get that footing correct. Goes wide to Del Rio. We'll say it was a pass. Back to the back post. Dadinho! Goal! And we'll see, was the ball over the line before Nazario Mbomio touched it in?
Yeah, not quite sure who put that one in.
We think we're giving it to Mbomio. We'll have to see on the replay to be sure. Oops. And apologies as we got the wrong replay up. We'll get that up to now. There it is. So back post, Dadinho nearly getting his hat trick. I think Mbomio just touched it before the ball went in.
Yeah, I think Mbomio might have stole him a goal there, but needless to say, respectable effort.
Nazario Mbomio getting his second goal of the match. Dadinho adding to his assist. 5-1 is the score. Potros again looking to get their biggest win in history for UPSL. Currently up by 4. They never won by 5. Could be an opportunity here today. Del Rio winning the ball back in a dangerous position.
And there's that shifty movement of Del Rio.
Dadinho might feel a little bit hurt. from that one. He's on a hat trick, but now Bomio's also on a hat trick. So 2 braces apiece.
It seems only right, and Bomio needs to set Darinho up for a golazo.
Yeah, but Bomio, I understand him. He wants that golden boot as well. The Equatorial Guinean looking to try to get some views from the Equatorial Guinea national team. So if there's anyone from the Equatorial Guinea national team here today watching, keep an eye on Nazario and Bomio.
And that's going to end up ultimately at Bradshaw's feet, who finds Del Rio. Del Rio leaves it to Lima, though. Lima unable to get past the defender there. Throw in going to be taken probably from Bradshaw, given one of the goals scored directly off of one of his throw-ins. Bradshaw looking long again.
Dealt with well by Martinez. Now Del Rio going back to Van Buskirk.
Van Buskirk opting to play it calmly to Paul. Paul looking for the through, but Dadinho slipping on that one with a little smile at the end. Bradshaw with a good touch. Gets it past the defender. Still on it is Bradshaw. Oh, but a foul. A foul is called?
Yeah, foul called against Bradshaw. He put his leg out to keep the ball. Fountain City player got his leg in between and just clipped the ankle on the process. And we do have review at home, watching the replay, confirming a Bomio goal on the 5th goal. So Nazario and Bomio goal assisted by Mark Bino, also known as Dadinho. Here's a chance for Clay with some space to go forward, but Watson, what a great effort to come back and help on defense. And something we've noticed again about this Potros team, that Frankie Ruiz has them, regardless of the score, they work extremely hard.
That is literally, you pulled the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say it's incredible to see, because, in prior seasons, we've seen Potros to get rather complacent or comfortable, and I'm just not seeing that here.
Oh, a chance here. Ball over the top, finds Diallo. Diallo looking for a chance. Van Buskirk needs to be careful. Greenberg doing well to help out. Gets it out in a Fountain City throw. But Fountain City, just as we were talking about it, caught Potros a little bit
lacking.
Yeah, a little bit unaware. And Diallo was able to get in behind. Now Scheidel will come over to take the throw. Looks like he might have a long throw in his repertoire.
Yeah.
As we see, Bradshaw has one for Potros. A chance here for Scheidel if he can get in a dangerous area. Got to get it past Oranga, but can't.
Yeah, and Uranga's just unbeatable in those. You can't really get the ball past Uranga if he has the ability to touch it.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult when you have Kwesi Paul and Oranga back there.
And Nazario with some heavy pressure there.
Bradshaw head forward. Lima is going to fault him, Bomio, but he's offside. That was clear. Offside. Against him, Bomio.
And it's all smiles for Potros on the field here. Loving to see this kind of play.
Yeah, and in some ways, you want these kind of games to get comfortable, to work on different moves, but you also not always that beneficial to have these types of games this late in the season going into playoffs. It'll be a completely different picture when they get into the playoffs and the opponents that they'll face. So
absolutely,
they need to make sure that they're staying focused and taking advantage of every minute of this match and not getting complacent, as you mentioned, not feeling like the job is done, because ultimately playoffs is where it's going to be at. The season title, although they're still in contention, does not seem likely at this point. So the shift has to be ready for playoffs. Dadinho able to poke that one into space, and Bradshaw runs onto it. Lima gets past one. A great tackle there from Norguera on the second one. Here's Rome. Connects with Gonzalez. Gonzalez can't get past Mbomio. Watson. Del Rio. Del Rio!
And Del Rio just a little excited on that one. Unable to get it. A little high there for that shot. Goal kick for Fountain City.
Just under half an hour to go. No changes, but we do see one player getting ready to warm up for Potros. Looks like Jimmy Lee Noel. And now Bryson and Tochi also getting ready and warmed up. The 16-year-old was 15-year-old at the start of the season. Only made a few appearances this season. One of them being the game against SSL. Only played a few minutes and got sent off for 2 yellow cards. Hasn't played since then. We'll be looking to get some more minutes. Here's Watson. Lays it off for Dadinho. Dadinho puts a cross in all the way to the back post. Here's Lima. Lima looking for the shot in the front post.
Yeah, that was a good shot from Lima there. Just unable to get a little more heat behind it. Good job from Perez.
Diallo putting pressure, but Paul, great strength, great neck muscles. Rona right on the edge of the line.
Did you see how close he was?
He was just on the line. He had a little bit more time. He could have taken an extra step, but he managed to stay on the line.
Look, when you own your box, you own your box.
Every inch of it, up to the line. And remember, the ball has to be completely over the line to be considered out. If it's even a part of the ball is over the line, it's still considered in the box. Here's Watson. Bodied off it by Scheidel.
Yeah, Watson trying to be shifty there, but Scheidel just wasn't going for it.
Yeah, Scheidel definitely the standout player for this Fountain City team.
Ooh, Lima leaving it off to Bradshaw. Bradshaw hitting it to the back post. Dadinho unable to find it though.
Yeah, I think he was trying to redirect it back across, but ball was too far in front of him.
Yeah, just heavy on it. And that sun's directly in Perez's face now.
Yep, we'll see probably for a few more minutes, and then we'll see him covered on a mistake there. Oh, and
Dadinho not able to capitalize.
We talked about the sun in his face just a second before. That probably put him off.
Yeah, absolutely. He's actively covering the sun from his eyes, so he's definitely being negatively impacted by that.
Let's go back into play by Fountain City and one back by Potros. Bradshaw's cross falls to the feet of Menjivar, who can't get past Paul.
Paul refusing to be beat once again.
And the newly entered Menjivar came on, we believe, at half. Not able to make an impact in this game so far. We did see Clay drop back into the defense with that change. And now Watson. Oranga getting forward. He's an option in the front. And Bomio staying deep. A lot of movement in this Potros midfield right now. Making Fountain City have to keep track of all the players. They can find one of the free players. It'll be an opportunity to break. Dadinho gets it to Oranga. Oranga's touch is heavy, but he gets to it again. Pulled down by Clay, but stays on his feet. Tried the back heel, looking for Dadinho. Dadinho was just a step behind. Now a chance here for Fountain City to break if they can find a good connection. Here's Rome. Rome not able to find his teammate.
Bradshaw reading it.
And now the ball will fall back to Kwesi Paul. Looking for the switch. And Bomio trying to read it past behind the defender. Ball goes out for a throw-in.
And Bomio
Quickly taken. Not able to make the sub, but Rome played off the ball. Now a free kick for Fountain City. We will see now subs for both teams. So I believe that means Feliciano will be the one coming in for Fountain City.
100%.
We do see Evan Greenberg replaced by Bryson and Tochi. The 16-year-old back in the squad.
Let's see if Antochi can do the same. He has quite big shoes to fill in for Greenberg. Greenberg up and down that field nonstop.
And Jimmy Lee Noel also came in to replace Pedro Lima.
So far, 5-1. The time is, we're approaching roughly minute 68. Been an interesting game so far, heavily possessed by Potros. Dadinho on a run here, gets it to Nazario. Nazario taking it cool, calm, collected. Dadinho still on it. Dadinho beats two. Dadinho Unable to find the back of the net, Dadinho, but a great job there from Mbomio to calm the play down, getting it back to Dadinho, and Dadinho having one.
Now Uranga picking that one up, looking on the back post for Mbomio, finds his feet, Mbomio on his hat trick. Closed down, taken down at the edge of the box. And a free kick now here, right at the edge of the box for Potros.
And let's see here who's going to take this one, as, you know, essentially Fountain City is owed a free kick from us. So let's see if Potros can find the back of the net on this one.
Bradshaw and Noel, as well as Bebel, over it.
It wouldn't shock me to see Bebel take this one, but at the same time, anything is possible given how they're lining up. And it looks like Bebel may be taking it or faking for Bradshaw to take it. Not too sure what's happening here, but it's going to be a good one regardless.
Not the tallest wall, but not able to get it on target.
And Bebel just a little heavy on there.
And I believe Tristan Scheidel was the one who was replaced for Feliciano. So that'll see Scheidel's day done. Got his goal. Helped a bit on defense, but not enough. And Fountain City, they're going to most likely have to hedge all their bets on their final week matchup against Dalton United. Here's Watson winning the ball back in a dangerous position. Still Watson. Gets it to Bebel. Bebel from a tight angle. Can't get past the defender. And it'll be a throw-in.
Watson, though, quick on the feet, able to beat two.
Quick throw-in. Dadinho back on the ball. Puts it across. Balls to Noel. Back to Uranga. Uranga flicking it in. Was looking for Mbomio, but just too high. And Gabriel Perez will pick that one up really easily.
Yeah, a little heavy on the flick there from Uranga, but all good. Fountain City pressing now. Unable to get it past Van Buskirk, though. Van Buskirk looking for his options. Finds Mbomio. Mbomio's moving and grooving. Trying to get past 1, 2, 3. Still on it. Has one. And saved by Perez. Huge job there from Mbomio. Able to beat 3 guys and get a shot on goal there. But Perez ultimately saving it.
Potros with 18 shots on target now at this point in the match. Here's Watson. Gets past one and gets taken down. That's going to be a yellow card. Shown to Gonzalez.
Yeah, Watson's just too quick. I mean, the Fountain City defender saw how fast and quick he was and, you know, opted to bring him down a little bit. I get it. Technical foul, and to an extent.
Yeah, it's like we mentioned in the first half, or sorry, a few minutes ago. Fountain City just physically not really able to keep up with the speed and the strength of some of these Potros players. And a few of them have been showing some good moments, like Clay and Scheidel, as well as Selby, but some of these other players just not at it there physically, but they have work to do to compete. Here's Odonga with a cross in, headed by Watson.
Watson looking for that corner, but unable to find it. And we did also talk about, you know, Fountain City only having 3 substitutes, especially at this hour of the game. Fatigue was definitely going to be a factor here.
And it's not a cool day. It's pretty warm, around 82 degrees at kickoff. Has since dropped now that you see pretty much the entire field is covered in shade. But it's definitely a difficult task. Here's Dadinho with some space. Played across to Mbomio. Goal! Mbomio with the hat trick. Dadinho with another assist to his name. Going to give Potros the 6-1 lead. This could be a historic day for Potros. The biggest win in their history in UPSL. If they can hold on to this lead or even extend it.
And now Dadinho is going to be looking for his hat trick. Cool, calm and collected. Dadinho just, you know, beats his man, gets it to Mbomio. Mbomio saw the space, the time, and just puts it in the back of the net. High quality chemistry from Potros this game. high possession game as well, high shot count. I mean, everything just going right for Potros.
And I believe that is Nazario Mbomio's third hat trick of the season, now extending his lead at the top of the Golden Boot race to 15 goals. Last season, Darinho had 15 goals. Paul with a mistake there. A chance here for Selby. Lays it off for Diallo. Van Busker quickly across to clean it up. Now Feliciano tried to play it one time wide, but Darinho was there to recover. Darinho still going. Plays it across Mbomio. Could he add to it? Mbomio not able to get to it. Darinho matching Darinho's 15 goals from last season. Darinho just missing out on the Golden Boot on the final day. Kalanji Pro Profile's Anthony Sumo getting a hat trick on the final day to pass him. But so far, Mbomio 1 goal away from breaking the record for the most goals in a single season for Potros. So more records to be broken, potentially, in this historic season for Potros.
And a heavy connection play here is Uranga running up. Uranga still on the ball, trying to beat, but ultimately gets hit in the face with the ball. He's contesting, no call there, but ultimately nothing done there. Mbomio, though, ripping the ball away. And the ball sent out for a Potros throw.
Yeah, the ball stayed in play there. There was no call, and the Fountain City player just held the ball in the corner while Uranga was still finding his way to his feet. And Uranga, knowing that the play wasn't over, just ran at the player and forced the mistake. So
it ended up working out ultimately. Throwing from Bradshaw to Noel. Noel looking for options. Beats one, still pushing is Noel. Tries to get it into Mbomio, unable to get past the defender there though.
And
Tochi. Oh, and
slipped up.
Yeah, and Tochi, I believe that was his first touch on the ball.
Now we'll see a double change as Manuel Carrillo and Sean McKeever get ready to come in, replacing Mbomio and Darinho. So,
Darinho's not going to be able to get his hat trick.
2 goals and 2 assists is pretty good on the day for Darinho.
No, and understandably so, given the game's parameters. You know, let's get some field time for these other players.
And we'll have a chance to see Manuel Carrillo, who's the second all-time scorer, coming into the match. Will he be able to find his first goal in his second match of the season, joining from Life University, as well as Augusto del Rio? But actually, it's going to be a goal kick. And McKeever also coming in to replace hat-trick Nazario Mbomio. Sean McKeever has not scored this season. This could be an opportunity for him to get his first goal of the season. He has 4 assists. He's been a key player, especially in the early parts of the season. Nearly had that bicycle kick attempt against Kalanji Pro Profile, which would have been a way to get his first goal. Here's Carrillo. Can't get past, but wins a corner. 8th corner of the match for Potros.
It looks like Carrillo's going to play it short to Bradshaw. Bradshaw back to Carrillo.
Yeah, that's actually Noel.
Oh, sorry. Noel.
Now Bradshaw. Shot on target. Goes down as the 20th shot on target of the match.
And a high percentage game for Potros this game as we approach minute 80. We're at minute 76 right now.
Del Rio with a no-look pass to Noel. Noel looking to put a cross in. Oh, he goes himself.
Oh,
off the crossbar.
That was a really good effort from Noel there.
Great move there from Del Rio. Beat the 2 players and a no-look pass. A little bit of Ronaldinho inspiration there. And Noel with the curling effort, just not able to keep it under the post. Goal kick taken, Paul winning it. Uranga finding his space in the turn. Back to Noel. This time he goes for the cross, looking for McKeever, but it's too close to the defender. And Tochi up.
Good
Watson head down. Bebol trying to find Carrillo. Another connection that Potros fans will remember for many years, Augusto del Rio and Manuel Carrillo. 2 players now playing together at college level, back in Potros colors together for the first time in about 3 years. Well, second time. We saw them last week against Birmingham. Here's Watson. Still looking for his goal contribution today, if he can find one. Wide to Bradshaw.
Mistake from Bradshaw there. Fountain City countering now. But back at the feet for Buranga and Paul. Paul shooting it back out to Bradshaw. Bradshaw looking for options, opting to get it back to Paul. And Verona looking a little bored, so he's sitting at the 20.
Selby with the quick pressure, but not able to keep it in play. And now Potros back under possession. Pressure there from Gonzalez, winning a throw-in. Another substitute getting ready for Potros. Looks like Danny Morera will be the newest entry as he gets his final equipment ready, but Noel will pick this one up. Plenty of space for Noel. Still Noel goes wide to Carrillo. Cross to the back post.
Heavy on the cross. Watson on it though. Watson having some fun, trying to use his speed. Gets the cross back in. Nobody there though, except for a Fountain City defender.
McKeever trying to find his way through. Still McKeever goes wide to Ntochi. Ntochi's cross just a little too high for Carrillo. Headed away to safety by Martinez. Now we see Morera potentially come in, but the throw-in was taken quickly. Del Rio. Carrillo. And Tochi gets it forward to McKeever. McKeever from a tight angle. Finds Carrillo. Goal!
And with that goal, ladies and gentlemen, Potros sitting at 7 and Fountain City 1.
Manuel Carrillo back on the score sheet for Potros, adding to his total for the club. The second time all-scorer, a ways away from Darino, but back on the score sheet. McKeever getting his 5th one of the season. I know McKeever's been looking for that first goal, but from that tight angle, had to settle for the assist and gets Manuel Carrillo back on the score sheet. And now we see Uranga being replaced for Danny Morera.
Yeah, and essentially, a lot of good players are getting some well-needed time on the pitch, and I think it's a really good coaching decision there to get all these players. I mean, look at the pressure. I mean, they look like scavengers, vultures out there. Every ball, every play, ready to go. Cool, calm, and collected on the offense as well, which has been absolutely crucial this game. Fountain City looking for something.
Here's Zara getting it forward to Rome.
A good pass there.
Rome putting a cross in, and Tochi there to pick it up, but has pressure.
Huge.
And does well to clear.
Yeah, great
Good-
job from Antochi
Good
there.
composure there from the 16-year-old.
Absolutely.
And having seen Antochi throughout the season and in preseason, he's very mature for his age. He doesn't look very big, but he talks, he has a loud voice, and a very good leader coming into this team playing with mostly adults.
Carrillo.
Chance here. Ooh.
Yeah,
Cut out well.
Maybe just a little too fancy on there, but Carrillo and Noel with good connection there. Noel trying to backheel it back to him, unable to, unfortunately. And Tochi taking that throw in, finding Bebel. Bebel pushing forward, gets it to Carrillo.
Wide to Antochi.
And Tochi unable to get the cross off on that. Defended well from Fountain City. Fountain City trying to get out of their box. And back with a Potros possession. Paul trying to get it to Bradshaw. Finds Bradshaw. He's able to keep it in.
Morera, despite making most of his appearances this season off the bench, has been a really positive addition to this Potros squad. Brings so much energy, especially late in the games. A great switch over there to McKeever.
McKeever's still wanting it. McKeever's still trying to find it. unable to though. Fountain City player shooting it straight into the air. Carrillo on it, and Carrillo shoots it and finds the back of the net. Absolute heater from Manuel Carrillo, if I'm correct. Great job from Carrillo there, making the score 8 to Fountain City 1.
What a great turn and finish there from Carrillo.
It was just, you could absolutely tell he was one of Potros' top goal scorers based off of that.
Yeah, one of those players who just has that knack for goal. Since he joined Potros back in 2021, he's always been a goal threat. Been at the top of the scoring charts. Gone to Life University and done well there as well. Came from the Atlanta United Academy. Played back at his old high school, Marietta High School. And now we will see a debut for goalkeeper Benji Prophet, as he will come on to replace Cameron Verona. And the captain band getting passed around for the second time today.
And that's going to be Van Buskirk putting it on.
So Van Buskirk getting his captain band duties today after Benjamin Uranga and Cameron Verona being replaced in the match. And we'll see Gaston Prophet, as he goes by the name of Benji, coming on to the game, getting his debut for Potros. We'll see if he gets any action in these dying minutes. 6 minutes to go from goalkeeper Benji Prophet. I'm sorry again, Benji, if I'm mispronouncing your last name.
Back on the pressure is Potros as Fountain City try to get out of their half. But, I mean, Potros just swarming every ball possible. Moreira able to head the ball, but I believe a call being made there.
I think it was a dangerous play, probably called.
And staying on the ball is Bevel, just absolutely having fun now. Yeah, able to just left and right around the Fountain City player. Moreira and Paul having their fun. Paul getting it out to Bradshaw. I saw him working on those earlier, and I have to tell you, it has yielded results. Bradshaw unable to control it there, though. Fountain City goal kick. Fountain City possessing. Fountain City pushing through. Heavy pressure there from, I believe, Watson.
A really important match, this one from Potros, because they're keeping the pressure on Kalanji Pro Profile, who need to win one more game to secure their season title. But even fighting for that second place spot, with Georgia Revolution winning earlier today against SSL, continuing to put pressure on that second seed. If Potros were to drop points next week, or lose next week, then Georgia Revolution could jump over them for the second spot. Potros going in next week against FC Columbus Elite. We will be traveling down to Columbus. Stay tuned, as that game may be streamed on our YouTube channel. Subscribe so that you don't miss it if it does come up. If not, please follow our social media pages. You can see the links in the description to get notified of where those live matches will be able to be seen. Fountain City still looking to try to create. Feliciano's pass was blocked by Moreira. A quick play here by McKeever, looking for Carrillo, who's on a hat trick himself now, off the bench. Only played a few minutes in this match and couldn't find himself a late hat trick.
Yeah, definitely possible given the parameters of how Carrillo's been looking.
Fountain City fans wanting the handball, not given. I think referee didn't have the best angle on it. Did look like a handball from up here.
Yes, it definitely looked like one, but his back was turned to the referee, so the referee wasn't able to see it. Del Rio playing with Moreira. A huge slide there from Fountain City, though. Paul controlling. Plays it to Van Buskirk, but heavy pressure on Van Buskirk there. Van Buskirk's able to get it to Moreira, though. Moreira's moving. Moreira's moving. Playing around in the front. Mistake there, though, from McKeever. And that's Van Buskirk controlling it. Almost gone, but Van Buskirk ultimately foul called on Van Buskirk. Fountain City going to try to do something with this.
Yeah, Van Buskirk. No card shown, but he is on a yellow card and needs to be careful.
Yeah, it could have been dangerous.
but unnecessary at this stage of the game to see any players sent off. Some shake-ups around the league this week. Pachuca and FC Columbus started their match yesterday, had to postpone the match due to inclement weather. Before we saw Dalton United defeat Birmingham 5-0, confirming Birmingham's relegation, pending league changes as we've seen in other seasons. Albion and Limeño's game also was postponed for weather, so we'll see that game be made up hopefully soon. And then Kalanji Pro Profile with the 4-0 win against North Georgia United. Earlier today, UMA beat Georgia Athletic 3-1, putting them up into 5th place, only behind Dalton United on head-to-head. So it'll be interesting on the final day to see who secures that final home seed, as Georgia Revolution, Potros, and Kalanji Pro Profile are already confirmed to be home seeds in the first round.
Oh, and that's Bebel on a run. Bebel playing with McKeever.
McKeever!
What
a save.
And an absolute save from Perez there, as McKeever had him a shot and a half.
Sean McKeever just not able to break that
Yeah,
goal.
poor guy. I mean, he wanted it, and he almost had it, but Perez was there.
He's gotten so close so many times this season. Got an assist today. This one, an amazing save from Gabriel Perez, stopping McKeever from getting his first goal of the season. Header by Carrillo off target.
Fountain City on the ball.
Selby not able to get past Morera. Another chance here for Potros. Noel getting the ball forward, looking for McKeever, but that one's too heavy. Will fall into the hands of Perez.
Yeah, just a wee bit heavy for McKeever there, unfortunately, and we're approaching the last, actually, like 10 seconds of regular time.
Fountain City will go end this week out of the relegation zone thanks to Albion not playing this week due to a postponement. And we reach the final seconds. We'll see if any time will be added. We're now into added time. And that will be the final whistle.
And no added time on this one.
Potros FC with the 8-1 victory, winning their highest match. 40 shots in the match
Incredible.
today. So to Fountain City's won. Will go down in history, breaking the record for consecutive matches undefeated. Potentially on a winning streak as well, but this will set up Potros to finish off the season next week away against FC Columbus, and we'll be back in 2 weeks to bring you the first round of playoffs. The opponent will be pending depending on the results in the next week. This has been Christopher Oranga alongside
Richard Carvajal.
Thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you here next time.
We'll see you next time.